Hello everyone, my name is Peter McQuilton, and first of all please accept my apologies that I can't be there in person, but hopefully this video will give you a flavour of our work. So I'm delighted to be able to present FAIRsharing.org, which is one of the outputs of our joint RDA 411 FAIRsharing working group, on behalf of myself and my co-chairs Simon Hodgson, Rebecca Lawrence and Susanna Santasansone and the FAIRsharing community. So our working group has now completed its 18-month lifespan, and we have two main outputs. The first is the FAIRsharing registry itself, which is built on the existing BioSharing registry, and FAIRsharing is a manually curated registry of interlinked standards, databases and data policies, and covers the natural sciences, engineering sciences and the humanities and social sciences. And the second output is a set of recommendations or guidelines for the creators and users of these standards, databases and data policies to guide the selection, description and linking of these resources to help them to be more findable, accessible, interoperable and reusable, or FAIR. Okay, so the first output is the FAIRsharing registry. Here's the homepage. This is what you will see if you type FAIRsharing into your browser. I'm not going to go through the homepage, but I just want to show you some of the ways in which we can access the data. So in the center of the homepage, there's a dark blue search bar, which contains three options. The first is a general search tool that searches across the 40 plus fields that we have in every record for whatever text you type in here. The next is an advanced field by field search, which allows targeted searching using autocomplete and some of our in-house vocabularies. And then the third is our search wizard over here, which is a step-by-step search tool that can kind of hold your hand as you explore through the data. What I really want to show you though is the numbers that are down here, as this shows you the magnitude of the data that we have in FAIRsharing and also how it starts to be cut up. So here you can see we have 720 terminology artifacts or ontologies, and we have many databases in the life sciences, for example. So what are we trying to do in FAIRsharing? Well, we're trying to map the landscape of standards, databases and data policies and the relationships between them. So we've done that by taking standards and splitting them into four types. We have the models or formats, which are here on the left hand side, terminologies, which include ontologies and vocabularies, reporting guidelines or minimum information checklists, and identifier schema. And we describe each of these, and then we describe the relationships between them. So you can have guidelines that stipulate the use of a particular format and so on. So we could try and capture all of that. And then we relate this back to the databases and data repositories that implement those standards. So we have this relationship here. And then finally, data policies, linking them either to the databases and thereby implicitly also back to the standards, or directly to the standard themselves, these data policies being from funders, journals or other organisations. And I should say at this point, all of these resources, their records are manually curated by our own curators working together with the community. So members of the community who perhaps have a standard or a database can claim the record for that resource in FAIRsharing and then edit that record themselves and get notifications if we make any changes and so on. Looking at engineering research data management itself, you can see here the coverage of standards, databases and data policies in FAIRsharing at the moment. And you can see we have quite a few in engineering science, and then this is the breakdown of ontology terms that we have to annotate the rest of the records within engineering science, and the vast majority fall under computer science, electrical and system engineering, but we do have a few others from materials science and so on. And this is all rapidly growing as we expand out from originally being biosharing, where we focused on the life sciences. So you can see in 2016 we only had one policy and 35 databases and 97 standards in the engineering sciences. You can see there we're doubling or even more than doubling all of these 2 years later, and we continue to grow. So how does FAIRsharing work within engineering? Well, how can we help you? Well, you can use FAIRsharing to create your data management plan, to identify the most appropriate standards, databases and data policies for your work. And you can also formally cite these resources using the DOI that we ascribe to each record and the how to cite this record statement that we have. And also how you can help us as we rapidly expand. Tell us what's missing. Add your resource if it's not there already, or claim it if it is there. And you can also make a collection of resources within FAIRsharing, which is one page which would say how's all of the resources for your project in engineering, so that you can say, okay, we want people to put their data in these repositories using these standards. All of those can be grouped together. So what are we trying to do with all this, really? Just to finish, well, we're trying to enable the FAIR principles to ensure that standards databases and policies are findable. And we do this by providing those DOIs that I've mentioned for each record, and also marking up each record with schema.org, so it's discoverable in Google and Bing and so on. Accessible by identifying their level of openness and the type of license they have. Interoperable, so which repositories implement the same standards. And reusable, the level of endorsement. And we do all of this work as part of a big ecosystem of FAIR resources, as part of the GoFair FAIR Metrics Working Group and the NIH Data Commons. If you want to know more, you can go to this preprint here, which is our latest paper, which has just been accepted to Nature Biotechnology, or to our working group page, or contact us either via Twitter or on email. And I realise I'm over time, so I'll stop there. Thank you very much.